Europe is being flooded with immigrants, legal or illegal. And one of the areas that we'll be covering today is illegal immigration, especially from countries like Pakistan. As I'm joined today by an award-winning investigative journalist, Zulkarnain Tahir.
The young generation do not see their future here. They simply say, being here, whatever kind of degree they are pursuing, well, at the end of the day, they may not end up getting good jobs. If they get a chance, they are not afraid of that taking the perilous, dangerous journey to Europe via land or other means.
One of the biggest hot topics in Europe is illegal immigration. It seems that Europe is being flooded with immigrants, legal or illegal. And one of the areas that we'll be covering today is illegal immigration, especially from countries like Pakistan. As I'm joined today by an award-winning investigative journalist, Zulkarnain Tahir, who has investigated this subject quite extensively and is what I would call an expert in illegal immigration from Pakistan into Europe, and especially in countries like UK. So I'd like to welcome him to our program today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we want to discuss this very emotive, interesting topic which has really been at the forefront of mainstream headlines in the UK. It's this illegal immigration into the Europe and especially UK from Pakistan. And you know, from our own personal experience, we meet so many people who have entered into the UK legally, in the sense of through work visas or on student visas. I mean, I haven't even scratched the surface with illegal immigration. But what I wanted to discuss with yourself is, first and foremost, why are there so many people so desperate to leave Pakistan at this moment in time, especially the younger generation? I mean, is it so bad there at the moment that there's no prospect of a good, decent future that they want to leave?
Yeah, well, especially the young generation do not see their future here. They simply say, being here, whatever kind of degree they are pursuing, well, at the end of the day, they may not end up getting good jobs. And like many years, I mean, like it's been the story of decades that people take Europe, America, Canada, Australia as like heaven. Being over there, you start earning a lot of bucks, sending back to your family. Your family would be happy. You would be happy as well out there, and a very bright future is awaiting you out there. So, in that context, not only the educated youth, even the illiterate one, or or those engaged in small businesses here, they prefer or they whenever they get a chance going abroad, they try to avail it.
But
And
Mr.
yes,
Tahir,
in
who
some
told
cases there
them
is a
that
success story.
England is heaven, Europe is heaven? Because we're living in these countries, and I can assure you they are far from heavenly at this moment in time, because we too are suffering from our own economic challenges. We too are suffering from a cost of living crisis and high inflation. We too are suffering from lack of opportunities and jobs, and businesses are suffering. So what on earth gives them this impression that, you know, we are living in a heaven compared to them?
You see human smugglers. You see the people who've been living over there, even whenever somebody living maybe in UK coming back, and he telling the stories. He's telling the stories. The people who the Pakistanis working over there, they are earning good money, and what what you're doing here till see your future abroad. Sell everything here, come abroad, and there. So that is that kind of pipe dream is sold to them. Apart from human smugglers, is a word around here. I met so many people and so many people in journal, and particularly the victims of human smuggling when they are deported and they are arrested by FIA. Happen to meet a few of them. Say, we lost the opportunity. Have we not caught over there? It would have been great. We could explore our avenues to earn money, and many of them still want to go back to Europe if they get a chance. They are not afraid of that taking the perilous, dangerous journey to Europe via land or other means. They may stop over, pay handsome money, someone out there for Malaysia to then the travel agent out there in Malaysia, they arrange a travel to Australia. In Dubai, they pay heavy amount, good amount to agents for Dubai travel. That is a air travel. Legal visa you get for Dubai. It was easy a while ago to get an visa for United Nations, UAE, United Arab Emirates, and that is of Malaysia. But recently, both also put curb on Pakistanis because that was a favorite route from UAE. You land over there by air travel on genuine visa. From there, the travel agent arrange your journey to Libya, and from Libya, you try your luck to Italy and so on and so forth. Similarly, of Malaysia, once you get over there, the human smugglers, they charge handsomely from the aspirants and they try their luck for Australia from there.
But
So these,
but these
although
but these
apparently
routes
were,
but these routes are riddled with danger
yeah,
along the way. As you know, I've heard stories where many people actually die en route in trying to get across into Europe. So, I mean, are you aware of how dangerous these routes are?
you're very dangerous, you know. The term is used, donkey मार के वहाँ यूरोप पहुंचना. From there, the perilous route starts from Libya and from Malaysia, and now another. I was recently speaking an officer of Federal Investigation Agency. He's now the new route is picking up air route that is from Baku, Azerbaijan, because it's an easy to get a visa for Azerbaijan, and from there the human smugglers arranged a travel from Baku to Turkey, and Turkey then onward. You see, that is the gateway to Europe. And I happened to be in Baku a
Sorry,
year back,
before you go any
and
further,
interesting.
so how are they getting from Baku to Turkey?
Baku to Turkey, mostly on land route from there.
Wow.
This is a very interesting story. Then so many Indians I met in Baku a year back. I visited over there, and uh, those who have come from different part of India and a few Pakistanis, they converge. Even if you ask me, uh, the hotel they were staying, I tell the hotel's name, and even Altus, and the management of Altus mentioned on the desk those who want to stay more than 15 days, they got to submit their passport to them. Because that hotel was quite cheap, and if you visit, even I think so, that is a never uh, ending dream. You know, many people are ready to buy here from India, from Bangladesh. Even one today visits the Altus and finding the potential illegal immigrants, Pakistani Indians and Bangladeshi. Even from there, they take the perilous route to Turkey, Turkey to Europe. From there, they have to make payment back home to their to back home to the agents here, like in Pakistan or the Indians to India. Once they make payment, because I spoke to a couple of them, and they're saying from there, if we make payment, we arrange our journey from here to Turkey, Turkey to onward, and the next payment we have to make from after reaching Turkey. So the aspirants are also in a way they are smart because they don't pay it fully. But I covered 3 or 4 months back a story and parallel story. I'm telling you, that was the route from land route, notorious land route in Pakistan for illegal immigration, where you don't need any passport or any documents, travel documents. You get to Koita from any part of the country. From Koita, they make you cross into Iran, and from Iran, again the donkey, donkey business is there, and they get into Turkey and so on and so forth into Europe. From there, I had a call from FIA officer because I've been covering this quite for past many years. That FIA officer was a liaison officer deputed at Tehran embassy. Currently, Mudassar Tipu is Pakistani ambassador over there. So he told me we busted a gang here, Pakistani and Afghani, and he has horrible stories he has to tell me. I said, yes, he narrated the story to me, and then I published in my publication. After speaking to the victims and as well as to the ambassador and whatever the work Tehran government did in busting that gang. What they did once they get some 4 victims, once they get into Tehran with the help of the uh, with that of travel agent or human smuggler, they said, okay, you paid us 300,000 here up till Iran. Now, if we have to send you from here to Europe, you have to pay at least 5 to 6 thousand dollars, and you have to pay our agent, sub agent in Pakistan. Unless you won't pay it, we won't let you go. They kept them at some deserted place, and there they unleashed brutal torture on them. One of the victims' ear was cut. Um one of the victims' hands were burned, and likewise injuries. They make their videos, mean they film them while torturing them and send those films back to their families. And families, out of distress, was bound to arrange that money, 5,000 or 6,000 US dollars, and send them back because either they got to and whatever it, because the videos which I myself seen that so horrible to describe, like it wasn't appear to me a kind of this human smugglers are doing this to the victims. It appeared to me the terrorist this, it was a terrorist job or work being done. So the gang
So, what
busted and they
nationality
freed
were
more
these
than
human
10 Pakistani.
smugglers? Were these Pakistani human smugglers or Turkish or what nationality?
Well, like uh, in Turkey, not necessarily they have on board Turks, but many Pakistanis staying in Turkey is still easy to get visa for Turkey. So once they take their prey to Turkey, from there they charge handsome amount from them unless they detain them. Similar stories I did in the past, like the victims detained by the human smugglers in Turkey and they demanding ransom. So in Iran case, it was a bit different because earlier there were no reports, because that was in recent years, I think happened to be the first of its kind where Pakistani and Afghani travel agents or human smuggler operating hand in glove with each other and fleecing the Pakistanis. And that Iran victim story, I'm telling you, and they got back, and then I spoke to them. One of the victims, I still remember his name, whose hands were burned. He was Hussein. I spoke to him in detail, and he told me his tragic ordeal over there. And but he said, yeah, yes, that before arranging the money, and he was jobless here. He was a young chap in twenties, mid twenties, and he said he was been thinking to pay to pay some handsome amount to travel agent. I be in Europe, and from there I do labor or whatsoever. But I would be in Europe, and again the word I started off. He said the heaven, and he was considering himself unlucky that he couldn't get into into Europe or get into heaven. In fact, and I asked him, "Would you take a chance like this?" He said, "No. If I get visa to Europe, I wish to go over there, but not by that land route. That all memories I carry now." And I would advise my
Last
peer
year,
group. He was from Gujarat region, because that region, Gujarat, Mandi, Bhaudin, Zafarwal, Malpur, they are full of such potential illegal immigrants who are ready to go over there by paying some good amount to human smugglers, and that is the hotspot in Punjab for those human smugglers. They're operating over there.
but Mr. Tahir, these, from what you're telling me, are very poor people. You said he's already was unemployed. So where do they get the money from to pay people smugglers? I mean, surely, either they're putting themselves in great amount of debt to pay these people smugglers and then leaving the debt behind for their parents to pay or other family members. This is not a wise thing to do. But although it's very easy for me to be sitting here and saying that, and we don't know what people are going through, but surely it's not wise outwardly to be taking on such huge debt to embark on this perilous journey.
Yeah, yes, that is the case. In fact, once I mean somebody decides, even that guy is a poor or belonging to a middle class family or affording some money himself. Uh, the poor ones selling their, usually from the rural area, they would sell their land, because the idea that after getting to Europe, they would make a lot of money, and that is so enchanting, so enticing, that simply blinds the victims over here, the potential illegal immigrants. They forget about that. They they have in mind only one thing: we got to be in Europe, we got to be in Canada. There's a lot of fraud, and even if you ask me, two MPhil students, two MPhil student, and who done MPhil, and in media studies, and they are studying here they are teaching here in a private university of Lahore. They approached me and told me that they them paid over 1 million to a known consultancy firm, and that consultancy firm promised it to get them immigration of Canada. What they did, they even didn't bother to that. Mean those to the couple and so many hundreds other, to make their process even. And if one visits that consultancy firm, they are the kind of uh, what you say, the amount they have put in making the they're working in such an environment that immigration firm, that one believes that yes, that is the right firm, uh, which will finally help us get the immigration of Canada or immigration of Australia or immigration of UK. And that couple, he said, who is for 2 million gone down the drain, because when they're not telling us about our status of immigration over there, the process about it. Then we approached the FIA, and later FIA said, I have received dozens of complaints against this top-notch firm. And finally it arrested its owner, raided the firm, and the firm shut down. And it's till to date is 400 plus victims of that firm alone, who paid
Wow.
in millions to the owner or to the firm to get immigration or even the work visa. So
Terrible.
such a state of affair in Pakistan, though those were the educated one, they said we would, the couple said we would do PhD after going to Canada. So, and later I've been telling them you got to do PhD over here. Now you lost the money, and they were worried about whether we get it back because the FIA intervened. The agency would manage to get us compensated. I said this rarely happens in Pakistan. I've been covering this for so many years. This usually doesn't happen. Even the main culprits are arrested, but the victims are never compensated.
So in this story, no doubt they did not recover their money.
Yes,
Right. I mean, I've come
but
across.
they
Sorry.
yeah, but they keep checking with the FIA. FIA telling them we have arrested the accused and the trial is underway. They got nothing, the couple got nothing to do with the trial thing. They're
Yeah.
only mindful about or concerned about that
Their money.
if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get anything out of the money they given to that for.
A year ago, I was in Portugal, a country which obviously is in Europe, and there was a lot of people from Bangladesh in Lisbon, and what I was speaking to them, and a lot of them had come into Portugal through this donkey route, yeah, and they were telling me how dangerous this is. That along the way, you told me a story about how the people get tortured so their families can be ransomed or blackmailed to sending more money. They said that people pay to come onto this land route to get them into Europe, and along the way, the people smugglers kill people themselves when they take them to very isolated areas, when they know that they can't be, made accountable for their actions. Also, they've told me real painful stories where people have become ill along the way and they have to leave them behind. The group can no longer travel, slow down or stop for somebody who's become ill. And there's one case that which really stuck to my mind, and really I found so heart touching, that a guy fell down while they were climbing this mountain and his leg got trapped between two rocks and he actually snapped in half the leg. He tripped, got his leg caught in between two boulders, and they had to leave him there. They literally had to leave him there on his own in this remote mountainous area to basically die, because nobody was going to carry him, nobody was going to sit there to treat him or look after him, because it becomes a case of survival. Every person is there for themselves. So it's really, really painful to hear these stories. But this is going to carry on until the end of time, until there is land and people can walk on the land, whether it's over mountains or crawl through jungles. They will continue with these journeys. And the other thing now, which we're witnessing in the UK, is a lot of people buying legitimate visas. When I say legitimate, these are legitimate because through these visas they are able to come to the UK. But when they arrive, they have a whole series of other problems where the company that sponsored them is no longer trading, or they no longer have a job for them. They've just sponsored them to get them into the UK, and they've actually sold them that visa. So a lot of people from Pakistan are paying extortionate amount of money to buy these work visas. I mean, is that something you've covered as well?
Yes, over the last two years, the rate of work visa for UK has been doubled or more than doubled here. If, I spoke to yes the guys who bought the work visa between 20,000 and 25,000 UK pounds, and even I one of them uh, was an acquaintance, and he said I got the visa in 22,000 UK pound. I said, have you made sure that that company you getting the work permit from? would accommodate you once you land in the UK. He said, never mind. My concern is to get to UK. Once I get over there, uh, I'll explore my ways. And sometimes I wonder why the people over here, even the potential immigrants, they had with that dream they have bought of heaven, or um,
Hell.
pounds or dollars are growing on trees. And the other thing that they think it, they have some kind of hidden potential syndrome kind of thing. I don't know whether I should say this term or not. Like I said, if you have that much talent or potential, you can explore ways here, and you can make good money here. Being in Pakistan, he said, no, Pakistan doesn't suit me. Pakistan literally have no opportunities over there. I'm resting here. Once I get to Europe, or or any other dreamland like America or Canada, yes, you would see I will make my way to success. I'll make a lot of money, and so such kind of things in their mind, and that's the thing which prompt them to spend to buy that work visa, or likewise opportunities they ready to spend on.
Wow. Do you think the authorities in the UK, well, or even in Pakistan, are fully aware of the fact that these people are buying these visas? Surely not all these people coming over through these work permits are genuine.
Yes, the work permit, since for work permit, those educated class, mean people buying work permit from educated class, they somehow uh, verify the legitimacy of verify the legality of that, or sorry, genuineness of that document, work permit, and many others defrauded, like buying fake visa permit, and they arrested, like they take their chances, buy the ticket of whatever the country, of European destination, they buying that work permit. They, once they get ticket, and before boarding the plane, they are offloaded and arrested. They are asked from whom you bought this this doctored uh, visa, or yes, doctor visa or fake permit. So this is a story here as well. Both parallel things are running, like in work permit.
Okay. And what about the people who are coming from Pakistan with their families? I mean, it's bad enough buying a visa just for yourself, but there's many who are bringing their wives, their children, they're selling their houses, their lands, their tractors, and literally burning the bridges behind them, because if it doesn't work out in the UK, they've got nothing really to go back to in Pakistan because they've sold their house. So surely that's again something very drastic and very, very, what's the word, dangerous for them.
Yes, of course, because since they have spent a lot of money, and once they are into UK, hardly anybody thinks. I haven't met a person who gets a who bought work permit, unvisited, or gone to UK, and he's back after 6 months or so. No, because a lot of money involved, and it's
See, but
really tough, or
that's
really
but you've got to ask them if they had a
huge sum of
choice.
money.
Maybe they would reverse the clock and not having sold their properties and left UK. But the fact they've sold it, the choice is finished for them to go back to Pakistan.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear your last question because
I said,
the signals
if
appear to
they've
be a bit poor.
already
Yeah.
sold all their property in Pakistan, then they've diminished their chance, or shall I say, opportunity to go back to Pakistan. They've got no choice but to stay in the UK.
Of course, they are waking up to the reality once get to UK, but they have no option. They think, like I tell you, and story. Even one of the FIA one guys I know, and he took leave from here and just got the work permit, and he's doing job out there uh, in Europe. I don't want to name because I know that guy.
Please don't.
And I said, he said, if you work honestly in Pakistan, even like I'm in uh, Federal Investigation Agency, but if you have to honestly earn your bucks, I don't see my future here. So it's better take uh, one chances abroad and try his luck over there. And I said, you got settled in a year time. Stay in contact, and it's been almost 1 year. He said, no, I'm struggling, but no chance getting back to Pakistan.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you another story. I met a friend who knew somebody who'd sold 2 properties in Pakistan, paid for visas to come to the UK with his wife and 2 children. And the job, I don't know what job he was doing in Pakistan, but here he's delivering food on a bicycle. Like, the people who order food from the restaurants and takeaways, his job is to take the food from the restaurants and deliver it to people's houses. And he himself said, at this rate, the amount that I'm working and not saving is going to take me 10 years just to save enough money to buy back the properties I sold in Pakistan. So if you think about it, what is the worth of all that effort if you're only going to work for 10 years just to buy back the properties that you sold to come to UK in the first place? It's madness, isn't it?
Yes, it's madness, and you see, I would say there are a lot of such stories here, a lot of such stories. Many
Amazing.
people, thousands, they got deported from even the Gulf region. The Pakistani number is in thousands. And you see, and likewise from Europe, every year, such a huge number people get deported here. Of course, they tell their unfortunate stories to the people around them. But still, I wonder if even I drop a word, okay, I can arrange travel of someone, and even a couple of my relatives have been saying like I covering that investigation agency as well as the, that human smuggling thing, and is it you plug us with someone so we take our chances, because here in Pakistan is nothing for us. That is the common phrase here. Okay,
Yeah.
there is no future in Pakistan. We have nothing here. It's better try our luck abroad there. Although the newspaper even are full of such unfortunate stories. What happening? The guys in Iran who were tortured, and the local media also flashed that story. Like this is happening over there, and this happening in Turkey. This happening even in Pakistan. In some cases, they detained them in Quetta, and from there, even without taking them to Iran, they detain them and take extract money from their families. But still, the people, I
Falling
think,
for
a
it.
lot more awareness is to be needed, and they got this need to tell them the real stories of the Europe, mean the struggle. If one gets over there, what kind of struggle they have to put up uh, to for survival, even what to talk about making extra bucks for luxurious life out there for themselves, for sending money back home.
I presume there's no probably real statistics available as to for every 100 that who undertake this dangerous, perilous route, how many actually succeed. A, succeed in getting to the destination, and B, even when they are there, like the stories I've told you, how many are actually successful when they are here? Because many are homeless, many do not even have enough money to eat properly. So you can't call that success just because they've landed in Europe. I was talking to somebody and I just said something very simple to him. I said, तुम वापस घर क्यों नहीं चले जाते, पाकिस्तान क्यों नहीं चले जाते? And he said, are you serious? When's the last time you went Pakistan? कब गए थे पिछली दफ़ा? I said, I've just been recently, a few months ago. and he said, "You're not really aware of Pakistan's situation, how bad it is, that how people are committing suicide. लोग खुदकुशियां कर रहे हैं क्योंकि महंगाई इतनी ज़्यादा हो गई है. That's why so many people are dying to get out of Pakistan and into a different country because they think they're coming out of a hellfire to go, even if it's not heaven, but they live in hellfire at the moment." And I still can't comprehend that. I'm still living in the UK, but I still think it can't be that bad, surely. Or is it?
Yes, sir, it is not, and even in such a agrarian country, nobody sleep belly empty. Everybody, here, even those not uh, getting any food, mean there are so many charities here. Nobody go to nobody goes to sleep without taking meal. So, but the overall the thing, and in especially last 2 years, there is a narrative. You see, this is also it has also become a bit of political problem as well. Political turmoil, political scenario. The PTI, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf of Imran Khan, former Prime Minister, and the and the is wrangling or is clash with the PML Noon government and those backing the PML Noon government. On social media, there's a lot of such um, you see. The word about Pakistan, that Pakistan is no more, Pakistan is a living hell now, no more opportunities here. It's better to leave the country, sell your property,
Who is
future
saying that?
in Europe or whatever the country
Who
even
is
you get
saying
chance
that?
to get. So that political situation also contributed immensely to that, uh, uh, what we call it, distressing situation here regarding the future of the country. So it has, I think, blown out of proportion, or that political turmoil contributed a lot to that thing. And people, there's a talk of the town. I mean, everywhere. I mean, your at your workplace. I mean, any other place. If I go to play cricket with the youngsters, there's a talk about this. Pakistan में कुछ नहीं रखा. It's better. Nothing is in Pakistan. No future of Pakistan. It's better you leave. The students talking. Yeah. Once I get, once I do this degree, I'll take my chances abroad. And similarly, those even in at workplaces, the same talk is going on. There's no future of it. Currency devalued. Well, that's another thing. And salaried class suffered a lot because of instead of getting raised annually for the last 2 or 3 years in every sector, we've seen the pay cuts or even the industry shutting down, not many people getting jobless. That, in fact, that whole scenario contributed a lot towards buying that idea that leave Pakistan and find a good future in Europe.
Again, it's all about, as we say in Urdu, khayali pulao, sabaz bagh. The
Yes,
grass is always greener on the other side, and I can assure you,
greener on the
living
other
in
side, exactly.
UK, that's not the case. And I think you've hit the nail on the head that the current political instability and turmoil is contributing to this economic depression and this helplessness that people are feeling about their future, because it seems like for us sitting in the UK looking inwards into Pakistan, we ask ourselves who's running Pakistan at the moment, in the sense that there's no political party ever seems to stay long enough in power to be stable enough to be able to run the country properly. I mean, who actually runs Pakistan is a different story altogether, but outwardly there is no stability for any one party to have any period of stability to be able to run the matters of the country. It seems like all politicians just involved in this political mudslinging where they're just trying to pull each this one, and this one is pulling this one, and this one's getting arrested, this party's people are being arrested. It's just a nightmare at the moment. And how can a country progress if it's all embroiled, all the factions of the politics are embroiled into this kind of war and attrition?
Yes, I think last 2 years I have been witnessing, and the people here witnessing that both from the establishment as well as this is the huge clash between the establishment and Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. And from both sides, I see inflated egos. Nobody is ready to say goodbye to that false ego for the sake of the country. In fact, it appears to be a power wrangling thing, like purely a human thing. So both I think side, yeah. So they need to revisit their harsh or hard stance and and retreat one step backward to take the country forward, or at least for the sake of political stability. And political stability is essential for economic stability. That is purely economic rule.
If
So
you, if you,
currently, currently there things do not appear that way. From both sides are ready to budge from their whatever the hard stance they opting, and for the sake of the people, for the sake of the country, and which that hard stances of both of them, PTI and the establishment, contributing immensely to that political instability in the country, and that leading to the depression and permanent depression here. That nothing going to happen for the good of the country, for the good of the people. So that depression is a major contribution. The
of
people
course.
believe that it's time to leave Pakistan. Whatever the property you have here, sell it out and take your chances. In terms of those who are doing small businesses here, they of course they opt for the legal channel to leave Pakistan. Even people ready to relocate in countries like Malaysia, countries like Dubai, a small investor, and even a big, a major property tycoon recently is seen on UAE's television screens that he's investing hugely in UAE and leaving Pakistan. So
Who,
that's quite
who is that out of
unfortunate.
interest?
Yeah, property tycoon, that is Malak Riaz.
Really? So,
He's going to build a huge you see big
housings.
houses over there in UAE. He signed an agreement a couple of days back, and from here he's absconding in political cases, or whatever one calls the political cases, or the criminal cases. So
You see, that
political environment is
leads
much.
to my next point, that no matter what stratosphere of society you're in, the illiterate, unemployed, right at the bottom of the socio-economic ladder, they want to leave the country and go to Europe, America, or Canada. Then even the high-level elite, they have investments abroad, like in European countries, where there's properties, assets. They take their money out and don't keep it in Pakistan. They send their children abroad to study. So it seems to be as this social malaise all throughout Pakistan, not just the underclass, even the elite. They have a backup plan to be having some assets abroad.
Yes, you see the poor, or the lower class or lower middle class, the option they are taking going abroad, that is illegal route, a very dangerous one. So they're putting their lives at risk. There are many stories of boat capsizing in Greece, Libya, and they're losing their lives even. And the other class, affordable class, a bit affluent class which can afford going abroad through legal channel by using the money they have with them. So these two classes are both are taking their chances. In fact,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
earlier that wasn't the case. If you ask me, the last 2 years which I witnessed, that much despondence wasn't among the class of those who afford to go abroad through legal channels. There have been always stories here, I've been talking for many years, that is the land route as well as some air route. From there, they take their chances, uh, mean through illegal routes, illegal channels. Just like initially I told you, even they get to Malaysia through legal channel. From there, they're using the illegal channel to Australia. Like from Dubai, they get to Dubai legally, but from Dubai onward, they have uh, diplomacy, and so to get over there, they choose the illegal way. But this time around, the educated class, as well as me, those having some bucks here, they they're taking their chance abroad, and even they're leaving the country along with whole family unit. That is a bit different if we see this trend compared to a trend 2 years back, and 2 year back and backward to many to couple of decades. That was the trend of that illegal thing. Today, illegal thing is still there. It is also thriving on the aspirants, but also now the legal people opting for legal ways, sell out their properties and going out there, or even to take their chances. And some of them got back as well after facing huge disappointment after being maybe into Malaysia. They invest money over there, they buy a restaurant, but every dollar has to earn. This is also a concept people don't think over here. Eh, इधर हम कहते हैं कि यहाँ जुगाड़ लग जाती है in Pakistan, but and also it is said that there is no jugaad out there in UK where you are sitting, in other parts of Europe, America, Canada, or Australia. There is no kind of jugaad.
Right.
I mean,
We see
if I
until
explain that jugaad in English, that is your fluke, some kind of fluke. Here you get mm, you do something and you make some good money, but over there you have to really work hard. You have to labor it to earn a
I
good
will,
amount.
Mr. Tahir, I will tell you, anybody listening, anybody in Pakistan who is thinking of selling any of their houses that they live in, their ancestral home or their businesses or their any form of livelihood that they have in Pakistan, like a tractor or machinery, they want to sell that to come into the UK. I will say to them, please, please don't. Because UK, Europe generally, especially UK, does not have the same opportunities anymore as it used to have. Isn't the same country as when our forefathers came 40, 50 years ago. Even those who came 20 years ago, they were still able to establish themselves. But now, because of the cost of living crisis, the extremely expensive, unaffordable housing makes life very difficult for them. And I know many people, give you this sarcastic reply, अगर हालात इतने ख़राब हैं तो आप क्यों बैठे हुए हैं वहाँ पे, आप भी वापस आ जाएं. But majority of these people are born in these countries. They may be Pakistani just by identity, but really they've got no connection with Pakistan, in the sense that many of second, third generation have been born in these European countries. So for them, this is home. They have been established. Our forefathers came when they bought properties, when properties were very, very cheap. So because of the hard work and effort they put in, our lives are relatively easier. We didn't have to struggle. But anybody new now coming, they will have to struggle so hard that I would honestly, literally beg them not to come and burn their bridges back home in Pakistan. These are also countries and lands of opportunities. We really should try and not drain that brain brain drain away from Pakistan, but instead the leaders should try and revitalize their own countries and encourage people to build their own countries like Pakistan, which truly do have the potential, but it's just not being utilized. What do you think?
Yes, the people. I wonder, especially those who are. Yeah, my voice reaching you?
I can hear you.
Yeah, the people who's selling their property and selling it in millions. I wonder what's wrong with them in terms of that handsome amount. Through that amount, they can invest in Pakistan, and at times they can earn reasonably good. But that thing, I don't know who told them that it's heaven out there, and you don't have to put much hard work. Once get over there, and you make a lot of money, and the future of your children is safe. This is a kind of myth. It has
It
to be
is.
busted, this
I
myth.
agree.
People
Absolutely.
saying, oh, we spend our time over here, it's better we make opportunities for our children over there. So
I,
let
I
the whole
also
family
blame I
move
also
out over there.
blame people from the UK when they go back to even for a short brief holiday to Pakistan, the way they spend money, because they're on a holiday, they're going to spend money. They give this impression that money is perhaps growing on trees in the UK. It's so easy to make money. What they don't realize is these people have worked so hard, but they've actually saved that money for this holiday, and now they're freely spending that money. But it gives the wrong impression to the indigenous population there, who sees them just spending money so freely and easily. They think it must have come to them so easily as well, unfortunately.
Yes, very unfortunately, and even I think, especially in the people who never happen to abroad, especially Europe, again, America, Canada, Australia. But when they listen the stories of the people that, yes, I have one relative who living over Australia. Oh, he having great time over there, and he in fact has taken three of his brother over there, and even their families, and so forth. Such stories are there, and even uh, people, even whosoever. So they simply buy that idea, and that eventually later on land them in trouble. They lose, I mean, they lose money as well once they get over there. Whatever they do from that money isn't enough for for buying any good business over there. So
True.
I think it's a sordid story of
It's
Pakistanis,
until
especially a middle class who is selling everything of its, those who selling their properties, and they end up having nothing, and only stories full of misery they have with them,
unfortunately,
and they get back and
until the
they tell
leaders
us.
of these countries do not start rebuilding their own countries selflessly, for the interests of the people, rather than building their own self-interest, these opportunities will not be created in these great lands, and people will constantly be looking elsewhere for opportunities which end up causing a lot of pain and misery for them. We'll leave it here. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your expert insight into this matter from Pakistan, how people are feeling and what they are doing just to get out of Pakistan to better their economic situation for themselves and their families. We pray that things get better for people of Pakistan. Jazakallah khair for your time. May Allah bless you. And no doubt we'll catch up with you again, Mr.
Thanks
Tahir.
indeed.
Assalamu alaikum wa
Yeah.
rahmatullah.